Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and whenever you watch this replay. Struggle bus is real today. Definitely did not want to get up. And then all my computer equipment, well, let's just say yesterday was a fun day. Things got rearranged, if you will, or unplugged. So, with that, we're going to talk about image transfers, and I'll just be honest. I haven't really tried them. I've seen videos on them. I haven't really tried them. I know that there is image transfers that occur when I use um some old prints, off of copy paper. We get the occasional, print off of that. I hear laser prints from printers work. That's something I will try it. I just bought a laser printer. I just haven't set it up. Well, let me rephrase, not just bought. It was on sale at Christmas and it's still sitting in the box. But I bought it for laser for image transfers. I've heard that inkjet printers work. Haven't seen it. Don't know if I'm kind of skeptical on that one. I heard that, fancy magazines like Vogue or Elle may work. So I do have one of those magazines today that we'll try. I also know that those fancy junk mail postcards that come in the mail, um, they're saying you shouldn't use those on your gel plate. I know I've tried those in the past. Um, and there's a video on junk mail postcards that I used. It's one of my very first videos. So that is definitely, I know that I got an image transfer off of those. I guess they say that it sticks to the plate, and that's why you probably shouldn't use it. Um, but I think it also depends on your climate, how much paint you use, and those kinds of things, and how long you let it sit there on the plate. So if you use one of those, use at your own risk. Because I don't know your environment and I don't know how that would work for you. Um, so we're going to try a couple things today and see how it goes. And yes, good morning, Christina. Yeah, today's going to be a rough day. A lot going on today. So I would like to go back to bed after this live, but I don't know if I'll get to. I don't know if I'll have time. So there's just a lot going on. A lot of things I got to do. Um, so with that, oh, and my lighting's off. So it's one of those days. So lighting is off for some odd reason, but here we are. Okay. This right here is we're going to do a couple of things before we do image transfers. Um, this right here is my roll off of my plate, but you can always look on the back side, and this is right here is how your plate's going to turn out when you pull it off your plate. So if you want to see how it looked, you can always turn your gel plate, couldn't think of the word, gel plate off. You can always turn it off over to see what it would look like. So we're going to try this and see how close it comes to this, but I bet it's going to look pretty close to this, if not this, because we are pulling off this exact same paint. And this was the order in which we put the paint on the plate. Whereas this is what it looks like on this side. And that would be really cool to pull, but I don't think we're going to get that. So let me do that first. And this will have to, oh wow, it really soaked up the paint. Oh, we're gonna have fun today. I know I put enough paint on here, so. This is going to be fun. We'll see how this goes. I may have paper sticking. I might not be able to pull this print off. That was a lot of paint I put on the plate, and it just seemed like it soaked up, which is odd. I've never had that happen before. So, real-time reaction here. I do not know what I'm going to expect from this. It could be a complete disaster. We're going to let that sit. You could tell that there's a lot of paint on the plate because it just bubbles up. So it's going to be a nice print from the little test I've done so far, but don't know how we're going to be in the middle. So, all right, we'll let that sit. We'll go do this one. Let's see what we got going on here. Now I turned my plate upside down to pull it. Because you can pull it either way. When you have a big plate like mine, like this one, you can still do it. It's just going to be a little difficult. Come on, paint. Not pull that blue out. Trying to prevent it from pulling. It's not quite ready right there. Let me see if we can pull a different way. No, you don't look like you're quite. You're ready on the edges. You're just not ready in the center. Yeah. A little bit more time. Experimentation day. Love it. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Will this one come out? Nope. Right there. Nope. We got some major problems going on today. Can't rush it. It's got to sit. It's a little on the wet side. It wants to pull up the paper. Tear the paper is what it wants to do. Oh, I'm just waiting for it. Do your thing. Let's go. So right now we're waiting for the paint to dry. No pun intended, but we are. We're waiting for the paint to cool down. Well, that's the wrong word. Right now it's cool to the touch. That just means it's still wet. Um, and so the struggle's real this morning, and it's going to tear my paper, and that's just going to be a giant mess. So we're waiting for the paint to dry. Any case, so we'll see how this goes. And the other thing I wanted to try was the Dina Wakley transparencies. So I'll show you that while we're waiting for paint to dry. So so Dina Wakley's transparencies, any transparency that you have, I do want to try one of these. I don't know if I want to try the whole transparency. I might just do a snippet. But there's a printed side, and you can kind of see it because it's, well, you won't be able to see it probably on camera, but up close and not on camera, there's a printed side that's kind of matte print, and then when you turn it over, it's definitely shiny because it's on the transparency. But on this, so what we're going to try is see if I can do an image transfer, because I'm assuming these are done on laser prints. So, and they're saying, and people say laser prints transfer. So I'm kind of curious. And while we're also waiting, let's take a review of the Vogue magazine here. This is an old one. I bought it a long time ago, thinking I was going to do a video on image transfers, but you know what? Never got around to it. So I'm going to apologize up front. I don't have Vogue magazine, so I don't know what we're going to get. So, let's flip through here and see what we're looking for. Now, when we're looking for magazine transfers, we're looking for strong contrast. Black and white images are always good because you know that that's really strong contrast. So, like this one here, the contrast, it's got this, it seems to be the same, whereas the Chanel one, you have this gray background with some black. So it might work. I would say this one is probably stronger contrast because of the background and the subject, whereas this seems to be like a filter was placed on top of the whole image. And so it seems to be the same. This, I think, would make a good, strong contrast print. So let's just rip her out and try that. I like this print. I like how they did this reverse image here, but I don't know if that will print well. So we're just looking for some strong contrasty prints. Okay, sorry, my apologies. Told you I didn't know what I was gonna get in here. Let's see. I'm just not gonna flip through this whole thing. I'm just looking for some. What about this one? I just saw it. Hold on. Let me. Okay, let's try. Let's try this one here. I'm not sure that this would work. Let's try this one. I'm not. Nope, I don't think that'll work. Again, if we get to places that we're like, I'm just trying to not to show hardly anything because I don't know what I'm gonna get. Let's try the king and queen here. Sorry, Your Majesty, but we're gonna try that. And we'll try this one. All right. Let's see if we can pull our prints now. This one's going to tear the paper. I can already tell you that. Yep. Got paper torn. Okay. Ooh, that wasn't as bad. I could tell when the paint went on the plate that it just really sucked up the paint. And I just thought I could tell that was not going to be a good time. Not too bad. These are just the edges anyway, and they're not as caked on as the rest of the plate. So, okay. If you find that your paper's tearing on your plate, try to pull it from a different angle. That will help reduce the tear on your plate. Okay. You did good on that one. That one turned out pretty good. Okay. Now let's see what we got over here. Yep, we got some tearing going on, but we're going to figure it out. Easy, easy. The paint's wanting to come up, but it's not tearing my paper, but it's the paint that's giving me a hard time. But I'm tired of waiting, so here we go. We're going to go in here. Yeah, this big blue spot. Yeah. It's just not doing its thing. Okay. Okay. So what we have here is that's the paint, and it wanted to stick to my fingers, so it wasn't quite ready. It needed some more time, but we're moving on. We can take another pull from this, though. There's no paper on here. It's just all paint. So to prevent that, you let it sit a little bit longer. But we need to move on. All right. Let's try to do some image transfers. Now, different people do different things on image transfers. They will swear that you got to have a certain type of paint. They will swear you got to have a certain type of paint, amount of paint on the plate. I don't know how true that is. So let's dive in. I think this is under my plate. Yes, it is. Okay. So I'm just going to do a dollop of paint here. That's a technical term, a dollop. Hey, Clarissa, how are you? Welcome. Okay, we got a little white in here, and I could tell the paint's beating up, which is unusual for Winsor Newton, but here we go. All right, we're going to try this one first. Not sure how successful we're going to be. Now, they say you place it down and you just swipe it gently. I mean, there's different people that will say different things. So I'm not rubbing real hard. Oh, check that out. We got something. We got something. Interesting. Okay, it's not a perfect image, but we have something. Oh, hold on. Let's fix this light because it's just not doing a good job today. There. I'm gonna turn it down. Okay, so you can kind of see it. We got something. Okay. Well, that's exciting. I think if I rubbed a little bit harder, maybe we would have had more. I don't know. All right. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with yellow. I could do gel matte medium in this case, but why not just do yellow? It's a light color. We could do white as well. Let's see what we get. Okay, and because we're experimenting, I'm just using copy paper. No, we'll see what we get, Christina. Like I said, today was a pure trial and error day. There are people who perfected this technique, I have not, because I haven't really done it. All right. Yeah, I think we got some kind of transfer here. So, got the words. We know we got a person reaching up. We got the back of her head. That's what you're not seeing right here. That's her shoulder where I thought that that was her head, but no, it's her hair is right here, and that's her shoulder. So we're getting close. So we'll see how. Let's do this next one. Let's see what this one does. We'll be going over a little bit today because it took us a little bit longer to get started. Okay, this is a little bit more paint than what we had before. This time I am going to not rub aggressively, but just normal. How about that? So we'll see how that goes. I'm still got a light touch to it. I'm going back and rubbing in certain places. Okay, we got something. Okay. We can always see we have a face, so that's cool. We have a face. Yay. Okay. I'm just picking up this black paint here. All right. Now, I'm not going to do this today, but we could get fancy and you could mask her out and use all kinds of stencils and paint her face. And I mean, you could get really crazy, but right now we're just trying image transfers for the first time. But trust me, the inner person in me just wants to get crazy. So, but that's okay. We're going to do the thing. I want to do a light color. Let's go with this rose. Was it yesterday? Pale rose blush. I want to see what a light instead of a yellow would do. Okay. So this is the image that we got. We can obviously go in here with Posca markers and we got the face. We can draw the face in. We could do all kinds of things with this gel plate print. It's not the best in the world. I mean, we knew that before we pulled it up. It wasn't like a strong contrast with a lot of different tones, but obviously the darker came out in that picture. Now, I want to try this one and see how we do. I'm suspecting that just the black will show on this print. So we'll see. I just thought the colors were really strong colors, and that's why I chose it, not because of the words on the plate. So I don't want anybody to think that. I was looking at contrast. Okay. So the words, the white. So the white is the thing that really printed on this. Because you could see the chime right here and the words right here. The black did not transfer as though I thought it would. Now, I'm not saying that's always going to be the case because we just had that picture of that girl that had, her face on it and it was the stronger. So it was interesting that the white resisted, was kind of like a resist. And it's funny, I'm getting a lot of beading on my plate, which is unusual for Winsor Newton paints. You don't usually get a lot of beading. Interesting. All right. Well, just letting it dry just a little bit. I'm just pulling up some paint skins here. Okay. Oh, sure, that was too much paint. Okay. We'll just do the whole plate. I'm just cleaning off this plate here because I had a lot of colors on there. You sit right there. You can always use black and white gel prints. So the words turned out really well. I mean, not perfect. I mean, they're messed up a little bit, but they turned out. Okay. I'm going to cut out a row here. I want to see if my theory on this, so this is the shiny side. I want to see if my theory on this will work. So let's just cut a row. All right. So we'll just add a little black. We don't need a whole bunch. You got a big Sunday ahead of you, Christine. You got a lot to do. All right, let's see. Looking for paper. All right, let's try this one. This may not turn out, but I'm just curious. I'm rubbing a little bit more than usual. See what it does. Nothing. It didn't do anything. Oh, that's disappointing. That is so sad. And that's why I didn't do the whole sheet. I was curious. Yep, nope. Not happening. Well, let's just clean off our plate and call it a day on that one. So experimentation is definitely the key. We know that the Dina Wakley transparencies do not work as far as a gel plate transfer. Or in this case, it didn't work. I don't know. Somebody out on the interwebs can let me know. I mean, that would be great. Maybe they have a different technique than I did. I would be interested in knowing. Of course, I didn't Google that on YouTube. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere about it. If not, this is the first. Oh, Sherry, we did not pull up any of the paint. Oh, that just turned out into an interesting. Wow, that was an interesting print. That's kind of cool. Was not expecting that. Can I don't think anything is going to pull from this, but nope. Okay, well, I was just trying. Now you know you can paint these because this paint's on there. We can use that for something else. All right, one more. We're going to try Her Majesty. And her son. See how that goes. Just a regular, normal Sunday for me. Yeah. Oh, I have yellow. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of paint, Sherry. I am just rolling off extra paint here. The more you roll, the more the paint comes off. So if you ever get too much paint on your plate, just keep rolling. All right. Oh, look at that dog. I wonder if that dog would work. Oh, we have something. Oh, wow. We have something. Okay. So we got hints. We got hints here. His suit really turned out though. Huh. So I guess the Vogue magazine might be working, but we'll see. Oh, you can see some detail in this chair. Interesting. Interesting. Let's let it dry for a second. Okay. I'm gonna try to put a stencil right here. I could put a little blue and gray there. Okay. Let's let that dry for a second. So Her Majesty is blue. And so is her son, the king. So we'll see if we can get some other colors in here. Let's do this pale olive. Where is my pliers? Okay. It's probably not enough paint, but here we go. What is that? Oh, it's opaque. Okay. Mr. Tissue. You know what? I think I'm going to try that. We're going to try some tissue paper. That was a last minute thought. Okay. We might have to try these in the collage tomorrow. So we have a faded picture of Her Majesty and her son. His suit came out really good. Just don't know what's going on here with the with maybe I just didn't rub hard enough in this area. I don't know. We're still experimenting. We got the stencil in here, so like the shading. But what really came out was the detail of this chair that she was sitting in. I thought that that was interesting as well. So, image transfers. It's definitely a trial and error thing. Um, and there's a lot of factors to consider when you're doing them. It could be your climate, it could be how long the paint, how fast the paint dries, how long the paint's been on the plate, which is kind of similar to the other. But it could be the magazine. I will print out some pictures on the laser and we'll try this again. It probably won't, it might be next weekend, next Sunday. I don't know. Depends on what's going on for the week. So there's a lot. There is a lot going on next week. So with that, keep experimenting. That's what jelly printing is all about. It's experimenting. So we know that you can get some image transfers from the Vogue magazine. Yes. And let me tell you, those magazines are expensive. So, try other things. Old copy prints. I really don't think an inkjet printer is going to work. I did see somewhere if you print the image twice and run it back through the printer twice to get more ink on the paper, That might work. Haven't tried that yet, so maybe we'll try that next week. But any case, image transfers until you can perfect it. Find I think you have to find what works for you in your environment and your touch of rubbing the black paint onto the image, when it's down on the plate. I think that's a factor. Your environment, humidity, that kind of thing is a factor. The type of paint you use is a fact. Like all these things are factors. And trying to find the perfect thing is going to take some experimentation on your part. And that's probably why there's a variety of recommendations of how to do an image transfer. It's not, excuse the pun, it's not black or white, you know. And the reason why I said it's a pun is because we use black paint. But anyway, you get my point. So with that, try experimenting today. I will see you tomorrow with some more collaging, and let's see what happens there. And for those of you who are on the fence about joining my community, the doors will be closing April 12th. I'll be talking more about that next week. So definitely go and subscribe to my community. Founding members, I am working on some stuff for you in the background. So hang tight. And new founding members, before the door closes April 12th, make sure you join so you can get everything. And these are free communities. And once the door closes and I open them back up, there will be a fee. So definitely you want to jump in on the bandwagon now while it's free. And April 12th will be, monthly Q&A calls with me on Google Meet. And with that, I hope you have a great day. And thank you for watching Ratchet Up Your Art.